Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin laying down my favourite. We'll have a blanket triple folded on the long edge, or make yourself a long, narrow support for under your shoulder blades. So under the shoulder blades, but making sure your neck feels comfortable when you lay back down on the ground. And you could always put another pillow in under your neck. You want to keep the front and back of the throat and the neck even length. You could take hip width parallel feet or soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Do the one that just feels right for the beginning of your practice. And bringing your attention to your breathing. Arms can be straight out from the shoulders. Noticing the flow of the breath all the way in, all the way out. Whether your face feels tense, if you can relax a little more there. Noticing where your body might need extra compassion, bringing your focus to those places in the body that might be feeling extra tight or immovable, or even a little injured. Bringing the breath to those spaces. And taking extra special care of those parts of yourself. We're going to reach the arms overhead now and take the legs out straight. And give yourself a really big stretch. So I like this posture. It reminds us to bring the upper back curve forward. So just notice that shape in your spine. It's not the normal standing or sitting shape, but it helps us work a little harder with a little more awareness in the upper back. Beautiful. And then releasing that side. And that's both sides. We're going to roll off the mat and take the blanket out from underneath you and lay back down on the flat of the mat. But you might even feel that influence of what we just did, where the spine is lifting, that upper back spine. Have the legs parallel, hip width, feet parallel. Knees bent. And then with the breath, we're going to press the lower back, the whole spine into the floor. And when you inhale, you're going to lift your spine away from the floor. So we're trying to follow the flow of the breath. With the movement. Movement follows breath. Add the arms in. So when you inhale, take your arms overhead and go as straight as you can with your arms. As you exhale, bring them back by your side. So inhaling, the arms are going overhead, the spine is lifting. Lovely. We're going to press the lower back into the floor and really hold it there. So you're trying to broaden the skin of your lower back onto the floor and lift the legs up and the arms up. So arms straight up from the shoulders, lift up through your fingertips, lift up through your toe tips, really pressing your back down. So you feel your core engage. Nice. And what we're going to do is draw a little circle with the legs. So the toes are drawing a circle in the air. And let's try and coordinate going in the opposite direction with the arms. Whew. And you'll feel the core of the body switching on, but also stabilizing. All right, we try to keep as much of the skin of the lower back pressing to the floor. Oh, this is hard work. Go in the other direction with both upper body and lower body. Beautiful. Hug your knees into your chest. Good. And we're going to take happy baby pose. So arms on the inside of the legs and holding onto your feet. And we'll just relax the back, relax the belly. We're trying to squeeze the knees towards the floor outside the shoulders or the chest. We're trying to take the feet a little further apart. And very gently, we're still warming up in our practice here. We're going to straighten one leg and then the other. So we're going to alternate that. I'm starting to feel that big sense of stretch in your leg, maybe your hips, maybe even your knees. So you take it slowly. Find your flow of breath and appreciating that big resistance. Feeling how lovely it is to press your lower back into the floor here. So the core is relaxed. Beautiful. All right. Let's take the legs back up again and the arms back up again and press your lower back into the floor. And now we have the core engaged. Great. We're going to take the arms and the legs overhead for the arms and the legs away from center. And you're just going to go as far as it feels like your core is working. So you want to get to that edge and then back to center. So we're going to move with the breath. Inhaling, arms and legs move away, and exhaling back to center, pressing your lower back. Okay, so you don't need to make it an enormous movement. There's plenty of work here. Do what feels nourishing in your body, not straining your spine. Keep your lower back pressing. I'm going to do 2 more. Beautiful. And then take happy baby pose again. And it might feel a little easier, starting to warm up. Rock a little bit from side to side. And coordinate rocking. So when you rock to the left, straighten your left. When you rock to the right, straighten your right. So just gently from side to side. Noticing where the body feels like stretching, doesn't feel like stretching, appreciating your body. All right, let's hold a stretch on one side for a couple of breaths. And then the other side. Nice work. and releasing. Put your feet on the floor so your legs are bent, feet are hip width parallel, hands on the belly. Let the spine naturally lift away from the floor again in its natural curve. Feeling the flow of breath right down into the belly. That lovely feeling as you take your awareness a little wider than the breath, into the body around the breath, with the breath in the pelvis and the hips and the back. Good. And we'll roll to the right side and we're going to come into forward virasana. So forward kneeling. Knees as wide as the mat, big toes touching, and reaching your spine forward. And depending on your movement, your forehead might reach the floor or it might not. It's really nice to be able to rest your forehead in this posture. So if it doesn't reach the floor, take your blanket and make a little forehead support. So long as the back of the neck feels long, we're going to bring the attention back again to that middle back when we used the blanket under the shoulder blades at the beginning of the practice. Bringing that part of the spine forward. If you lift your head now and you look forward, you'll notice that's the part of the back we engage to lift the head. So keep that part of the back engaged, but then rest your forehead back to the floor. See if you can relax the back of the neck, but keep the work between the shoulder blades. And again, lifting your head, looking forward. Find the space between your shoulder blades. Beautiful. Keep that really nice and active, bringing the spine forward. But then we're going to rest the forehead again. And we're going to do one more of those. Lifting your head, looking forward. Good. Feeling really strong between the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Keep that active and then rest your forehead to the floor or onto your blanket. So now we feel engaged in that part of the body between the shoulder blades. Feel the breath flowing there in the armpits, in the shoulders. And we're going to come up into downward facing dog pose. Stretch your fingers out wide and press your fingerprints and the base of your index fingers. Let's keep the legs quite bent. So we'll keep the hamstrings out of the equation as we try to make that same movement for the upper back. So we're going to look forward. So lift the back of the head, look forward, and find that engagement, that power source between the shoulder blades. Beautiful. And then keep your awareness there and just let your head hang down. So your neck feels nice and long. You can feel a little bit more space emerging between the vertebrae. Shoulders feel nice and wide. You want to make lots of space for this neck movement. Okay, let's look forward again. Oh, yes, it's finding that beautiful engagement between the shoulder blades. So looking forward. And then we're going to relax the head down again. Even give it a little bit of a shake so you know your neck is relaxed. Ooh, good. And one more time, lift your head. Feel between the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Keep the weight in your fingerprints. Let your head relax down. Okay, and then we're going to try and press the legs. Heels down towards the floor. Finding that long, deep breath. Okay, and then we're going to rest into child's pose. And in child's pose, you let that space between the shoulder blades relax wide and long. So arms beside you if that's comfortable, or under your forehead if that works better to support your back. Deep breath. Feel your body around your breath. Places that need extra attention. Feel like you can take the breath there, making space. Lovely. All right, we're going to do a preparation for forearm balance. So bring your forearms towards the front of your mat and place your elbows down on the floor so your forearms are parallel. You might need to take your elbows wider if your shoulders have some kind of impediment or you have an injury in your shoulders. Otherwise, you aim for elbows, shoulder width. Stretch your fingers wide, press your fingerprints. Let's take the toes under and the knees off the floor. And to begin with, explore your shoulder movement. So take your chest towards the front of your legs, just to where your shoulders will hold you. Good. Now we're going to lift the head. We're going to look forward and really feel that space between the shoulder blades pressing forward. Excellent. And then keep that space between the shoulder blades pressing towards the front of your torso. And then we're going to let the head relax down. Press the wrists down, the hands down. Looking forward again. Bring the chest towards the front of the legs a little bit more. The spine towards the chest. Yes, and then let the head just hang down. And one more. Looking forward as far as you can see. Beautiful. And then let your head just hang down. Feel that active spine. Lift the hips, press the heels, lift the kneecaps. Lovely work. Bring the knees to the floor. We're going to take the arms back for child's pose. Got to cramp my toes. Great. And then again, downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pressing the heels, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the sit bones. Finding that space between your shoulder blades. Does it still have that feeling that it makes a rainbow shape up to the ceiling? We're trying to bring that rainbow into a valley. Lovely. And then we're going to press each heel as you do this towards the floor. Take little steps forward. The more steps you take, the more chance you've got to stretch the back of your leg. So you're going to keep walking forward until you just run out of room. And then you're going to come up to standing at the front of the mat. Let's take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. looking forward, bringing the bones of your spine forward. Beautiful. We're going to step the left foot back for a lunge position. So quite a big step towards the back of the mat, but we're going to lift up. So for Virabhadrasana 1. So we've got the right foot forward, left foot back, and we're going to bend the front leg. And really employ that thigh muscle, your right thigh muscle, so that you feel really stable and strong in your front knee. And we let the hips sink down. Actually, bring the hands to the hips. So let the hips sink down, sink forward, press your back heel. We're finding this nice stance for the legs. Lovely posture to explore that reaching forward of the spine. So let's make a back bend shape. And then we're going to bring the arms up by the ears and looking up. Virabhadrasana 1. Ooh. Okay. Bring your hands down. Now we're going to reach down for the floor. And we'll try to bring the hips a little bit further forward. So you might walk your hands further forward. And you're going to bend your right knee as far forward as is comfortable for your knee. Some people are going to need to leave the knee behind the ankle. Some people can come forward. Just to feel a little more stretch in your left hip. Keep the left leg straight. See if you can bring the bones of the spine forward. Nice work. Now we're going to lift up, step forward, and coordinate landing. So you're standing on your right foot, left foot in front. Woohoo, a little bit of wobbling goes a long way. All right. We're standing on the right foot, left foot in front. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Funnily enough, this is the part of the spine where really seeking to improve our mind-body connection with. The spine behind the heart. Bring that forward. Feel the spaciousness that makes for the ribs. We're still perched up on one leg like a standing bird. We're going to cross the left thigh over the right. So we're going to be in our little crane pose legs. We'll just keep the hands in front of the heart. Great. And then we're going to put the left foot back down, but you're going to find hip width and parallel just with the skin of your toes of your left foot, and then transfer your weight. So there's no falling back into position. There is an intention. Inhale, looking up, arms up, Urdhva Uttanasana. Nice big step back with the right foot. This is for Virabhadrasana 1. We're going to lift the torso and we're going to bend the left leg. So I've got my feet hip width and parallel. If you've been classically trained, you might want to turn your left heel in, but I really like the challenge of the balance with parallel feet. It's also nice, even stretch for the ankles. We're going to bring the hips down. Use the left thigh powerfully, straightening the back leg. Bringing the spine forward, the heart, spine. We'll bring the arms up, looking up. Virabhadrasana 1. Beautiful. We're going to bring the hands down now onto the floor, either side of your front foot. And you can bend your front knee as far as is comfortable for your knee. So you might be able to bring the knee in front of the ankle. Only do that if it's fine for your knee. It's to bring the right hip a little further forward. Press the right heel back so you can experience that stretch. Good. Then we're going to coordinate, lifting up, stepping forward, and being balanced on the left leg. Ooh, perched up on the leg like a bird, albeit a wobbly bird. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Beautiful. Finding that heart spine. Pressing forward. Hands in front of the heart. Feel the spaciousness of your ribs. Space around your heart and lungs. Flow of breath. Nice. Let's take twisty bird legs. So we'll cross the right thigh over the left thigh. And you might be able to tuck your right foot behind your left standing leg. I've never been able to do that, so you can just do beside like I am. Lovely. Before you place your right foot down, have your intention to find where you're going to put your foot. Transfer your weight. Tadasana. Lovely work. Hands in front of the heart now. Aware of your heart spine. Your breath. We're going to step the left foot back, not a great distance. Front leg a little bit bent. And we want to balance on the right leg and lift the left leg up behind. And we're preparing here for Virabhadrasana 3, where you use the front of that right hip crease as your fulcrum. So you might be lifting the left leg up behind you and tipping the torso further forward. You could do that in a sequence where you then lift more up to perpendicular to the floor, bend forward again, or you can keep reaching forward, whichever feels like it works better for stabilizing your hip. We're looking for stability across the pelvis, the hips facing forward, equidistant to the front edge of the mat and the floor. And we want to feel the heart spine pressing forward. Space for the ribs. Space around the heart. Beautiful. We're going to lift all the way up now. Keep the hands in front of the heart. Bring the left foot in front. This time with the left foot, we're going to place the heel up on the thigh above the knee. So we're in a sort of half lotus position. Good. And bend the right knee a little. Lifting the heart. Relaxing the shoulders. Feeling the flow of breath. Nice work. With intention, finding where you're going to place your left foot and then transferring your weight. Tadasana. Finding your flow of breath. Let's take a couple of shoulder rolls. Easy to tense in the neck here where we're trying so hard in the lower body. So let's make sure the neck feels really relaxed. Okay, hands at the heart, engaging the awareness, the connection to the heart spine. Stepping the right foot back. And we're going to practice our towards Virabhadrasana 3. So that might be simply bending forward and lifting up at the left hip crease, keeping the hips level to the floor. Maybe it feels better for where you're at in your practice to come into that full Virabhadrasana 3. So lifting the right leg to parallel to the floor, the torso parallel to the floor. But if it feels better to explore lifting and lowering, do that. But everyone keeping hips level to the floor, equidistant to the front edge of the mat and the floor. Keep the heart, spine moving forward. Good, we're going to lift up now. We're going to bring the right leg in front. So we're balanced on the left leg. Bring your right heel onto your left thigh. Bend the left knee a little. So we're in a half lotus standing position. Heart, spine pressing forward so the chest becomes spacious, space around the heart. Breathing deeply. Good, and then we'll put the foot back down with intention. Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to practice a little our squatting. Now, if you're in a situation where your knees just won't do this, practice your squatting form by sitting on the floor as high as you can, so up on blankets, and just bring your feet in as close to your sit bones as your knees will allow, so that you're sitting up tall in your squatting form. Otherwise, we're going to have heels a little bit wider than the hips, toes out, and we're just going to practice lowering and lifting. And we're going to keep the heels pressing to the floor. And we want to make these movements happen so that your knees are fine. So you might just do little movements, knowing that you are stable. You might be able to take your sit bones closer down towards your heels. Do try to keep your heels on the floor. So don't go so far. I can't do that last little bit, otherwise my heels will lift up. But we'll keep the heels on the floor. Good. And when you're practicing your squatting movements, lift the pelvic floor. So there's a lot of downward pressure. We want to counter that with internal muscular support. Beautiful. And you're making sure that your knees are absolutely fine with what you're doing. You feel strong and stable. So don't force something without feeling that stability. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to sit all the way down. Elegantly or inelegantly. And take a blanket to sit on. So I just want to make sure for the people who are unable to do that up and down movement that you understand this other way of approaching it, and that is to make yourself comfortable on your blanket. Maybe more than one is better. And you bring your heels as close to your sit bones as your knees are comfortable with, so that you're in a squatting form, but the weight isn't in your feet, it's in your sit bones. And then we practice using the arms against the legs, however that works, to bring the spine forward. So sitting like this now, and seeing if you can bring your spine forward. Nice. And then you can modify this for whatever your knees need, even if you're just got your knees a little bit bent, you can hold the back of your leg and be bringing the spine forward. Great. And then eventually the knees will come closer to the sit bones. All right. We're going to sit with both the legs over to the right side. And again, on knees, you could have a mermaid shape, or you could tuck your heels in as close as you can, as neatly as you can, next to your right hip. And we're going to turn to the left side. And we're making that space by bringing the heart spine forward. that space around the heart, space for the ribs, the lungs, organ function. Nice feeling. Okay, and then we're going to find the breath. We're going to really blur the edges between the breath and the body and the mind, and simply exploring what it feels like to move with the breath, to be the breath. Mm. Mm. And releasing that side. Vajrasana, wise sage pose. Swapping your legs to the other side. You can be neat with your feet or have your legs out where your knees are more comfortable. Let's blur those boundaries again. Exploring space and ease in the body. Mm. And back to center and laying down. Legs in neutral, so bent, feet hip width parallel. Spine in neutral. Left heel to right knee. So through the whole posture, we'll bring the right foot off the floor and you hold your legs in towards your chest where it feels comfortable. You might be able to fit your left hand through that triangle hole to the front of the right knee. And we'll relax the shoulders. And we're trying to bring the right knee closer to the right chest. The left knee away from the left shoulder. Exploring where the body resists and where the body moves. Lovely. We're going to put the right foot back down on the floor. Take hold of your left foot with your right hand and see if you can straighten your left leg or towards straight. So finding your resistance. We're going to roll the lower half of the body to the right side. Keep your left shoulder blade on the floor so that straightening left leg going to the right. Ooh, and we'll look over the left shoulder blade. Finding the breath. Nice work. Come back to your neutral legs and spine position. Put your right heel on your left knee. Pick up your left foot and hold your legs where it makes sense. We're going to hold or put the left foot back down on the floor. Hold your right foot with your left hand and see how you go, getting your right leg straighter so that you can feel the resistance. Ooh. Keep the right shoulder blade onto the floor and lower body rolls towards the left. Try to keep feeling the resistance in your right leg, the straightening as much as you can. Ah, nice work. Come back up to center. We're just going to put the feet down and reach your arms overhead and give yourself a nice big stretch again. So legs out straight, arms out straight. Mm. Mm. Lovely. Arms and legs in, rolling to your right side and coming up to sitting. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.